Listen to your favorite shows live and on demand 24/7. Download the 77 WABC mobile app now. A common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC. Breaking news, WABC.
And joining us now on this enormous breaking news is Gerard Baker, the editor-at-large of the Wall Street Journal. Gerard, to find out that your journalist, Evan Gershkovich, is coming home at any moment, what was the reaction? We were so emotional and so happy for you.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Obviously, it's a great day. My colleagues at the Wall Street Journal are in, as you can imagine, a combination of joy and relief and gratitude and celebration. My colleagues in the newsroom, indeed, across the whole of Dow Jones, the whole organization, which is also, must be said, has worked, very, very hard over the last 18 months, nearly 16 months to, for the release of this innocent man, a journalist simply doing his job, in prison completely unjustly. A lot of work has been done by everybody down from the chief executive of Dow Jones to the editor of the Wall Street Journal, all Evan's colleagues, the people he's worked with, put in a tremendous amount of hard work. Keeping, one of the most important things in this, Reese, is to keep attention fixed on people when these injustices occur. And everyone's worked very hard. So the mood today is one of great celebration. We don't forget, of course, as well, the importance of the others who were released, and great joy for them and for their family. And I should also say, obviously, Evan's family, who have worked incredibly hard and have just been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful model of strength through all of this. So yeah, it's a great day of celebration. Everybody at the Journal and Dow Jones is deeply, deeply joy-filled.
John Catsimatidis here. Now, what is the Wall Street Journal going to do in the future? Does that mean we don't send any more reporters into Russia, or do we?
Well, that's an interesting question. It's a tough question. Obviously, I have to say straight up, it's not my decision. I used to be the editor-in-chief. I'm no longer involved in those decisions anymore. I'm glad to say I'm merely a writer. But of course, you've got to balance the importance of getting the story, of being able to do good journalism, important journalism, in one of the most important countries in the world currently, especially with the war going on in Ukraine. You've got to be able to give readers and give the world the information about what's going on. But of course, you've got to balance that against the safety and security of your reporters. And again, it's not my decision, but that consideration will be made. And look, I think one of the unfortunate, even on a day when we're celebrating here, we do realize that this, unfortunately, is the way that Vladimir Putin operates and the way that some of these regimes do operate. They seize completely innocent people, essentially as a hostage, as a kind of bargaining chip, right? And he's got what he wanted out of this deal today. We're obviously delighted for the release of the Americans involved in this, but he's got what he wanted with his release of this convicted killer from Germany. And that's always so that is always a risk. You always have to weigh that very carefully, the risk that your reporters could be put in harm's way like that against the importance of doing the job. Again, it's not my decision, but I'm sure this is a consideration that will be very carefully reviewed over the coming weeks and months.
I understand he's on his way back to America. Has anybody talked to him? Was he treated well?
As far as I know, again, I'm not directly involved in the discussions. There's some fascinating reporting on the Wall Street Journal website, which I encourage your listeners to read. It does seem as though, don't know how he was treated while he was incarcerated, but he looked we've seen the videos of him leaving Russian custody. We've seen those lovely pictures of him with the other Americans, with the American flag. Obviously very happy. His family are very happy. I know his family have been in Washington today. Obviously, they were there for the announcement with President Joe Biden. They've been in touch with him. We'll have to see. I can't speak. We'll have to see this. And if an ordeal like this obviously has tremendous mental and, even for a young, fit man like him, even perhaps physical consequences. And everybody will be anxious to see him and the other hostages too, which is what they are, hostages, see how they have reacted to all that and how they adjust. But everything we've seen there for the last 16 months, when we've had those glimpses of him in the courtroom, when we've heard the letters that he's written to his family, to his parents, he seems to be in incredibly good spirits. And let me just tell you, John, I say, and this is a good example. and you can read this in the Wall Street Journal reporting today, the very last thing he had to do in order to make this deal go through, he had to write a letter to President Putin asking essentially for a pardon, for a presidential pardon, which is the standard procedure here. And there's a box where he's on the form that he has to, the prisoner has to fill in, where he's entitled to say a few things. And he wrote in fluent Russian, because of course he's a Russian speaker. He wrote asking for the pardon in fluent Russian, and at the end he said to President Putin, "And when this is over, perhaps you'd be able to give me an interview."
I love that. Love it.
I think that probably shows what kind of spirit, what kind of resilience he has. So very good for him.
Bravo. That is really beautiful. That says it. Journalist to the end. Well, we are so happy for you. We're going to have tears in our eyes when he hits American soil at any moment. Gerard Baker with the Wall Street Journal. We are so thrilled for you and everybody there. Bravo, bravo, bravo. And how wonderful Evan and these others are coming home.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kindness. And, it's a great day. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Janine Pirro here for Colonial Metals Group. Colonial Metals Group helps Americans protect their future with the most trusted store of wealth in human history, physical gold and silver. If you're retiring or retired, go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Pirro for your free Janine Pirro Colonial Metals Group Retirement Protection Kit, or call 800-965-8004. 800-965-8004 now to receive a free home safe and up to $7,500 in free silver.